Welcome back, folks, to another spine-chilling episode of our channel, where we dive deep into the mysteries that surround us. Today, we have something truly hair-raising for you all, the infamous Amityville horror story. Brace yourselves, because we're about to explore one of the most haunted houses in history. I'm your host, and let's get started. Amityville, a small town on Long Island, New York, became a household name in the 1970s due to the terrifying events that unfolded within the walls of 112 Ocean Avenue. It all began on a fateful night in 1974, when the DeFeo family was tragically murdered in their own home. Ronald DeFeo Jr., also known as Butch, brutally killed his parents and 4 siblings, claiming that he was possessed by unseen forces that urged him to commit the heinous act. This shocking event sent shockwaves through the community and captured the attention of the nation. His life was marked by a troubled past and eventual involvement in a gruesome crime. Born on September 26, 1951, in Brooklyn, New York, DeFeo came from a dysfunctional family environment. His father, Ronald DeFeo Sr., was a strict and domineering figure, while his mother, Louise DeFeo, struggled with substance abuse. Growing up, DeFeo had a tumultuous relationship with his father, often experiencing physical and verbal abuse. He developed a reputation for rebellious behavior and became involved in petty criminal activities. As he grew older, DeFeo struggled with substance abuse issues himself, primarily using heroin and LSD. By the time DeFeo was in his early 20s, he worked at his family's car dealership business, but had become increasingly resentful and distant from his family. On the evening of November 13, 1974, DeFeo Jr. carried out a horrifying act that would forever change his life and the town of Amityville. Under circumstances that are still not entirely clear, DeFeo Jr. took a .35 caliber Marlin rifle and methodically shot and killed his parents, Ronald Sr. and Louise DeFeo, as well as his 4 siblings, Dawn, 18, Allison, 13, Mark, 12, and John Matthew, 9. After the murders, DeFeo concocted a story about a mob hitman being responsible, but inconsistencies in his account led the police to become suspicious. Ultimately, DeFeo confessed to the murders and was put on trial. His defense claimed that he suffered from a mental illness, specifically claiming that he heard voices commanding him to commit the acts. However, the jury rejected this defense, and in November 1975, DeFeo was convicted of 6 counts of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. DeFeo has spent the majority of his life incarcerated. Over the years, he has changed his version of events multiple times, offering different explanations for the killings. Some have suggested that his actions were fueled by a combination of family conflicts, drug abuse, and potential financial motives. He later died in prison on the 12th of March 2021, aged 69. Regardless of the motivations behind his crimes, Ronald DeFeo Jr.'s life will forever be associated with the tragic and brutal events that took place in the Amityville House in 1974. Fast forward to December 1975, the Lutz family, consisting of George, Kathy, and their 3 children, Daniel, 9, Christopher, 7, and Missy, 5, moved into 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York, unaware of the house's dark history. They purchased the property at a significantly reduced price due to the tragic murders that took place there just over a year prior. What they experienced over the next 28 days would go down in history as one of the most haunting tales ever told. Shortly after moving in, the Lutz family claimed to have experienced a series of paranormal phenomena that escalated over the course of their 28-day stay. They reported a malevolent presence that haunted them day and night. The reported incidents included unexplained odors, strange noises, doors slamming shut on their own, cold spots, and even physical manifestations such as walls oozing a mysterious substance. The Lutz family's accounts of their time in the Amityville house included chilling details. They described seeing apparitions, levitation, and encountering a demonic pig-like creature with red glowing eyes. The intensity of the reported paranormal activity ultimately compelled the family to seek help from paranormal investigators. When the Amityville horror story gained attention, the Warrens were contacted by the Lutz family to assess the situation and provide their expertise. They visited the Amityville house to conduct their investigation and gather evidence. The Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren, were renowned paranormal investigators who became involved in the Amityville horror case. Ed Warren was a demonologist, while Lorraine Warren was a psychic medium. They dedicated their lives to investigating and documenting supernatural and paranormal phenomena. During their time at the house, the Warrens reported experiencing various phenomena, including strange sounds, cold spots, and feelings of malevolent energy. They also claimed to have witnessed objects moving on their own and received psychic impressions of the haunting. Based on their investigation, the Warrens concluded that the Amityville house was indeed haunted by malevolent spirits. They believed that the residual negative energy from the DeFeo murders and potentially other supernatural forces were responsible for the haunting. The Warrens' involvement in the Amityville case helped further publicize the story and added to the aura of mystery surrounding the house. Their account of the events was included in books and documentaries about the Amityville horror. It's important to note that the Warrens' work and the veracity of their claims have been a subject of debate and skepticism. Some critics and skeptics have raised questions about the evidence they presented and the legitimacy of their investigations. Regardless of differing opinions, the Warrens' involvement in the Amityville horror case contributed to the enduring fascination with the story and solidified their reputation as prominent figures in the field of paranormal investigation. During their brief stay, the Lutz family attempted to document the strange occurrences through photographs and audio recordings. Their story gained significant attention after the publication of the book, The Amityville Horror: A True Story, by Jay Anson in 1977. The book detailed the Lutz family's experiences and became a bestseller. The Amityville horror story gained even more notoriety with the release of a series of movies based on the events, starting with the 1979 film The Amityville Horror. These movies further fueled public interest and perpetuated the legend surrounding the haunted house. However, over the years, skepticism and controversy have arisen regarding the Lutz family's claims. Some critics have questioned the credibility of their accounts, suggesting that they exaggerated or fabricated the events for financial gain, or to capitalize on the tragedy that occurred in the house before they moved in. Despite the ongoing debate surrounding the authenticity of their claims, the Lutz family's experiences have left an indelible mark on popular culture. Their story continues to captivate audiences, making the Amityville house one of the most infamous haunted locations in the world. However, despite the widespread fascination with the Amityville horror, skepticism and controversy have also surrounded the story. Some have questioned the credibility of the Lutz family's claims, suggesting it was a hoax to capitalize on the tragedy. There are several reasons why some people question the credibility. Financial motives? One argument put forth by skeptics is that the Lutz family may have had financial motives for fabricating or exaggerating the haunting. By purchasing the house at a significantly reduced price due to the DeFeo murders, they stood to gain financially if they could create a sensationalized story that would attract media attention and generate book and movie deals. Inconsistencies in accounts. Critics have pointed out inconsistencies in the Lutz family's accounts of the events. Different family members have given varying descriptions and timelines of the alleged paranormal phenomena they experienced, raising doubts about the consistency and accuracy of their claims. Lack of collaborating evidence. Skeptics argue that despite the numerous claims made by the Lutz family, there is a lack of substantial collaborating evidence. The paranormal activity they described, such as levitation and physical manifestations, was not documented or witnessed by independent third parties during their time in the house. Previous ownership of the story. Some critics have noted that George Lutz had previously dabbled in writing and had an interest in the paranormal. They suggest that this prior knowledge and experience could have influenced the development of the Amityville horror story. Polygraph results. It is worth mentioning that George and Kathy Lutz took polygraph tests regarding their experiences in the house. While they both passed the tests, polygraph results are not considered foolproof and can be subject to interpretation. The debate surrounding the authenticity of the Amityville horror will likely continue. But what we can't deny is the lasting impact it has had on the world of paranormal investigation and the horror genre. It's also important to approach the Amityville horror story with critical thinking and consider different perspectives. While skeptics have raised valid points, it is ultimately up to individuals to evaluate the available evidence and decide for themselves the veracity of the Lutz family's claims. What is your viewpoint on this controversial case? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Here are some lesser-known facts about the Amityville horror case. Previous paranormal experiences. Before the Lutz family moved into the house, they had allegedly experienced paranormal phenomena in their previous home. This suggests that they may have had an interest in the supernatural even before the Amityville incident. The address change. In an attempt to distance themselves from the notorious reputation of the house, subsequent owners of the property changed its address from 112 Ocean Avenue to 108 Ocean Avenue. The change was made to discourage curious visitors and media attention. Psychological evaluations. Following the Lutz family's departure from the Amityville house, George and Kathy Lutz underwent psychological evaluations. The results of these evaluations, conducted by professionals, did not find any signs of mental illness or psychological instability. When a priest came to bless the house, he allegedly heard a voice scream, "Get out!" He told the Lutzes to never sleep in that particular room in the house. The DeFeo family's dog. One detail often overlooked is that while Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family, their dog, a Shih Tzu named Shaggy, was found unharmed in the house. The dog was taken to a local animal shelter and later adopted by a new family. Legal battle. After the release of the Amityville horror book and subsequent films, there were legal battles between the Lutz family and others involved in the story. Disputes arose over profits and rights to the story, adding another layer of complexity to the already controversial case. Other paranormal investigators. While the Warrens are often associated with the Amityville horror case, they were not the only paranormal investigators involved. Hans Holzer, a renowned paranormal researcher, also visited the house and conducted his own investigation. Paranormal activity continues. Even after the Lutz family left the house, subsequent owners have reported strange occurrences and paranormal activity. Some have claimed to experience similar phenomena to what the Lutz family described, keeping the legend of the Amityville haunting alive. By requests of owners, the Amityville house is blurred on the Google map for privacy of the owners. There are several famous pictures associated with the Amityville horror case. Here are a few notable ones. The Ghost Boy. One of the most well-known pictures from the Amityville case is a photograph that allegedly captured the image of a ghostly boy peering out from the staircase. This photo was taken by Gene Campbell, a professional photographer, during a visit to the Amityville house. The image appears to show a pale, translucent figure with glowing eyes. However, the authenticity of this photo has been questioned, with some suggesting it may have been manipulated or staged. The Red Room photo. Another widely circulated image is a photo that supposedly reveals a hidden red room in the Amityville house's basement. The room is said to have been a site of evil and paranormal activity. The photo shows a small enclosed area with red-painted walls and eerie-looking objects. However, it is important to note that some critics argue this picture was staged and that the Red Room did not actually exist in the house. Exterior shots of the house. Various photographs of the exterior of the Amityville house have become iconic representations of the infamous location. These images typically feature the distinct Dutch colonial-style architecture, the distinctive quarter-round windows, which have since been replaced, and the wide front porch. These visuals have been widely used in media depictions of the Amityville horror story. The Amityville house, located at 112 Ocean Avenue, now 108 Ocean Avenue, underwent significant renovations following the events surrounding the DeFeo murders and the subsequent claims of haunting by the Lutz family. After the Lutz family moved out of the house, it was sold to new owners in 1977. They made modifications to the property to change its appearance, presumably to discourage unwanted attention from curious visitors and media. The iconic quarter-round windows that were featured in the house during the Lutz family's stay were replaced with standard rectangular windows. Additionally, the house's exterior was given a different color scheme, with the iconic white siding being changed to a different color. The renovations were aimed at altering the physical appearance of the house to make it less recognizable and distinct from its depiction in books, movies, and media coverage. Since then, the house has had multiple owners, and it is likely that further renovations and changes have occurred over the years. However, specific details about subsequent renovations and modifications may not be widely available or publicly documented. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the Amityville horror story has cemented its place in our collective consciousness. It serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that blur the line between fact and fiction. Well, that's all the time we have for today's video. If you enjoyed this spine-chilling journey into the Amityville horror, help me and make sure to hit that like button, Subscribe to our channel for future videos. Take care all and see you in next one.